Oh, we are live again.
Yay.
After several month hiatus, we are live. So, uh, obviously, a lot's been going on. We've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff, and then we've also been dealing with a lot of business stuff. And it's been crazy. The last half of the year was pretty insane. Hopefully, everybody makes all these New Year's resolutions to 2024, but um, it's all kinds of blend together. So, but as far as from our perspective with herps and stuff like that, it's shows got a lot better towards the end of the year. We started seeing some pickup in spending and things like that. So we're happy to be back. We're happy to start
How do I see the comments before you say
broad-
anything?
broadcasting again, and hopefully, I'm not sure, babe. I don't know how you have it set up. Hopefully, we'll continue this. This is our sponsor spotlight on Wednesdays, and we'll try to be here Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7. We'll post a schedule coming up when we'll have our other guests. Who's next? I think Debbie and Bill are the ones
That's
that are
Christopher
next.
Todd. Hi, Christopher.
There you go. You found it. So, and if we don't recognize your name up on
Hi,
our
boo.
chat, it's because
There's Ari.
Facebook does that stuff all the time. They will put up Facebook user, so we don't have a clue who it is.
I do now.
Most of the time. Well, Gina's on YouTube, so it shows her YouTube name.
Well, she said hi,
And
boo.
she said hi, boo, so everybody knows.
That my boo.
Yeah. So, so looking forward to 2024 shows. We got 3 in a row in January, starting off with Oklahoma, 13th and 14th, and then we have Longview the very next weekend, and we are at the flagship Conroe the last weekend of January. So three shows in a row. They're usually historically really good shows. The January Conroe show is usually insane. We'll see how it goes this year with spending. Tax-ish season, that's usually our craziest show as far as spending is concerned and attendance wise. So
hi, Amanda Lee.
Should be a lot of fun. I think 2024 is actually going to be good for shows. We know how the economy is, but we've still got to keep going, keep doing stuff. So Lori's just going to say hi to everybody up there.
Yep.
You got it on there.
I can say hi and drink wine. That's about
there
it.
You go.
Or stay high. No,
we have a lot of new vendors that are going to be at a lot of the shows. We'll talk a little bit about the West Monroe show, since that was our first added show in a while. That was a new show. And
boobies.
And what the rest of the 2024 has to offer. So, without any further ado, I guess we can go ahead and bring our special guest on. I'll bring him on real quick, and probably doesn't need any introduction.
No, I think everybody knows him.
Darien. Hello, Darien. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, hopefully a few people know me. I don't know.
few people. Nah. We'll get right into this stuff. Our show isn't about any of the bullshit or drama. We like to have fun, and MorphMarket and Dubia.com are sponsors of Hertz. Thank you guys. We've been trying to be sponsors of MorphMarket for a long time, and that's a whole other story. But we've actually known Darien since, I think Darien and I were talking about like 2012. Whenever he was doing some of the shows that we were vending.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Before he started doing our shows. Yeah. So we've known Darien
for probably about 2012, 2013, I think.
Yeah, close to 10 years or so, or in that range. Yeah. And so, I mentioned you made a post the other day about, driving to, or, knowing, going into this with negative bank account, and we've done it before, going to shows, and we began because we sank everything into that. But like, I don't think people realize that whenever you were vending, you were giving away bugs, and that was unheard of at the time. You were giving away cups of bugs and with your information on it. And so if you kind of want to explain what your thinking was there, because obviously it worked.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was just desperate at the time. had the bugs, and I'm like, you know what, I got to get rid of these things. I can't take them back with me, and just sit on them. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to give them away. But I don't know. I tried hard to sell them at the shows, and a lot of times that just didn't pan out. Any shows I
No.
went to, it's like too many people selling bugs.
Yeah, well, and your branding worked really well. I mean, you had all of your information on there. You had
Yep.
your website. Yeah, the packaging was really neat and clean. I remember that. Even
Yep.
back then, that was 2015, right?
Yeah.
And I think Conroe, I think Conroe was the first show that you did of ours, and you literally had one table there.
Yeah.
But we instantly clicked, and we talked a lot of. Even then, we talked a lot about marketing and branding and things like that. That
Yep.
a lot of people weren't doing, especially with shows at that time. There weren't even some show promoters weren't even using any kind of paid advertising. It was email lists and word of mouth and stuff like that. So, we bounced a lot of ideas off of each other back then, and we've been friends ever since. So, congrats on the new facility. Looks awesome.
Yep.
Looks like a hospital.
We get to see it in March.
Yeah, we're gonna come up to see it in March. We're gonna come up and do the Central Kansas show, and we're gonna come by and
Sweet.
see you guys and see the pet shop and come see the facility and hang out with you guys. So
I mean, maybe he'll come to one of our shows and see us before then.
maybe
I will.
don't know. He's gotten too big for us. We're not Pomona or NAWC or anything like that, or Daytona. No. But no, I like.
No, I'll make it to Conroe. I'll make it to Conroe.
You have to make it to Conroe. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're it looks impressive. You've been working on it for about a year, you said?
Yeah, we've had it for over a year. So
Gotcha.
yeah, took about almost a year of paying rent and building everything out inside just to get it going. So
been there, done that.
Yes, it does look like a psych ward.
Yeah, Jennifer. So
I just need to add the psychiatrist in there, and then I'm all set. I can live there.
Put a little couch in there so you can talk to the roaches at night.
Yep.
So how many square foot is the building?
It's like 31,000 square feet.
Damn.
Dang.
Now, do you have a dock where you're going to be doing the orders, like for the shipping and stuff out of? Or
No,
this is
just a breeding facility.
Wow. So what are your projections for what are you projecting a month that you're going to be producing as far as dubia?
Out of that building, I think we're going to produce about 6 to 8 million dubia a month.
Damn.
A month. Oh my God.
A month. Yep.
Don't you need some roaches, Sean?
Yeah, we've already talked. We're good.
And then we have another building. It's about 30,000 square feet that where we currently do a lot of it, and we're going to keep that and kind of remodel it to be the same setup. So we'll have.
When did you move into that other building?
Huh?
When did you move into that the first building, the big one? Because you didn't have that big facility at first, right?
No. So 2011, 2012, 2013, I was doing it all out of my house, out of a duplex. And we finally moved into a building in 2014. I think
Gotcha.
Middle or end of 2014. And it was just a little pole barn, not even a pole barn. It's like one of those portable storage sheds or portable buildings that you can,
they're
like 15 grand or something. And you have them all, dropped off with a truck and, just build it out, run power to it, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
And then over the next 2 years, we had basically just bought another 4 or 5 of those, little couple 100 square foot, 300 square foot each or something. So then around 2018 is when we, I guess it was about 2018 is when we got our first big warehouse, and we went from all those small buildings and then a couple other buildings that we were renting to a 45,000 square foot building in 2018.
Yeah.
And so we moved for a whole year. We moved everything from all those other, places into the big building. And then 2019, we got another building at 10 or 11,000 square feet in addition. And then 2020, we got 2 new buildings. And then 2021 we got another building, and then 2023 we got this new building.
Yeah.
So I think we have let me think here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings that are all separate properties for growing roaches and breeding them.
That's
Gotcha.
insane.
And then we have our main building, which is the 45,000 square foot one that's for shipping and storage and worms and everything else. Like all operations pretty much come out of that building.
Gotcha. So and so what, I mean, for people that don't know, what actually got you in the roaches? Was it because you were, I mean, because a lot of people don't know you were a reptile keeper from a long time. You've been a keeper for a long time. Were you
Yeah.
breeding the roaches just to facilitate your own feeders, or was it something that you saw you would do long term at that point?
Well, I was I think I was 14 maybe at the time when I first got into dubia, because I had, bearded dragons, and I had
Yeah.
hundreds, 100 of them or something. And I was always buying crickets, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to get these roaches. And at the time they were like $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
like, that was back, I guess 16 years ago or so. But yeah, they were like $1 a piece, and I was like, man, I got to produce them myself. So I started doing that, and then I got sick of buying crickets and tried to produce as much as I could, but never got to that point till years later. But everybody, there was a few places to buy them, but they were always, they were just so expensive. They weren't really known either. Like unless you were on like Fauna Classifieds or King Snake or something back in the day, you didn't even know roaches were fed.
That's
like
true.
it was kind of a new thing.
So, and a lot of businesses are born out of necessity, and that's probably, that's kind of where I was going with that is you're like, okay, well, I see I can't pay this. I can produce these a lot cheaper. I don't have as much overhead. But when did you actually think, when did it click that this could be a business that I could turn this into,
It was like 2014 or so, somewhere around there when I was, I pretty much, I knew the potential of it. Not like as big as it's gotten.
Yeah.
I feel like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I didn't expect it to be this big. I thought it could be like pretty decent, but it's, it's gone way further than I expected it to go at that time. Maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, I was like, okay, this is the potential of it. Now I kind of understand. But at that time, 8, 9 years ago, when I first started doing your guys' shows and first met you guys, I was just like, oh, I'm going to be happy if I can survive off of this, make a living,
just break even and be happy and pay your bills. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were the same way with geckos. We were like, oh man, we just kept getting bigger and bigger, but our expenses kept getting bigger and bigger. So, when you get to that point, it's how it works. So, well, like I said, I don't know. I don't get a chance to listen to a lot of other podcasts. And you've been on dozens and dozens and
I've only done like 6. I've done like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Yeah. But we've talked about this before about, your marketing. And I think that's what separates you from the other people that are, that have tried to do this and try to go commercial with the breeding, thing like this. Is how you marketed dubia.com and what you did. And that's another reason we've talked about doing kind of a marketing workshop, which we need to get back to. We want to offer that for everybody and kind of put our brains together and try to help vendors, because
you should let him use his brain more because yours is not very good.
No, but there's just certain things that I'm good at and understanding the algorithms and doing all that stuff is something.
It's gotten a lot worse though. It's gotten a lot more difficult. I feel like
it is. It's gotten a lot more difficult.
Well,
they just make it more complicated now. So
they want to make you pay more money and more money and more money.
Yes.
It's like 8 or 10 years ago. It was like, oh man, I could go put $1,000 into Facebook ads and just kill it.
Murder it.
Get like 10,000 clicks for $1,000, and now it's like, oh, here you go, 1,000 clicks for $1,000.
Exactly. Yeah, your cost per click's gone up, and I'm always like tweaking things and doing test ads and seeing where what I'm going to get as far as, because that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
get as many people as impressions and clicks as you possibly can for as little money as you can. But there's a lot of vendors that don't know how to market themselves like that. There's a lot of vendors that are afraid to go on Facebook and do a simple paid advertising.
I feel like you should have like doing a little bit of everything is really the key to it because that's like I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't do Facebook ads, but I also wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't do shows every other weekend, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's kind of like the combination. It's like you got to get people, you got to go to the shows to, develop that, kind of physical, relationship there. It's like, hey, you got to
mhm,
talk to people in person and develop that side of it. And then you got to have the ads to where people will see your stuff constantly.
yeah.
And you can't, one without the other just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, and that's why people are always like their concerns like, how are you and Darien so cool with each other because he's online sales and shows? Well, we work hand in hand. You have to, and a good thing Darien's done is put on the show dates and vendors can register and click on and say, hey, I'm going to be at these shows,
Yep.
and there are
They
still
can even put what animals are going to be at what shows now.
yeah, that's
I mean,
insane. And
it hasn't
it's
been
great.
used a lot, but it's a really cool thing that I think more people should use.
I think they will, and I think that they'll be able to at least highlight a few certain species because chances are if someone's really looking for that animal, they're gonna buy it before they even go to the show. But there
Yeah.
are still the majority of purchasers want to hold that animal, and when you're looking at, from MorphMarket online, a lot of the people, like, when we were buying online, we were buying from breeders that we knew had a good reputation. Of course, we were looking at
Yeah.
gecko forums and fauna and king snake and things like that,
Yeah.
but still going to a show and physically holding that animal in your hand and looking at it, it still means something.
Yeah.
And so, like
Well,
us
and I
working,
think also a lot of the new people getting into the hobby,
Mhm.
that's how they're going to start.
Yes,
And then they'll start doing more online and everything as well after that. But
that's why you're perfect for me. That's exactly where I was going with
well,
that.
I just thought maybe I'd talk once because,
Well, you're just sitting there drinking your wine. But yeah, I mean, that's where
can
I
I
was
flip
going
you
with
off?
that.
Or
Yeah,
no?
you can,
Mm.
I didn't.
I'll just give you the eyes.
You
can
have
start
it.
the conversation. She's gonna finish it. She's
Yeah, she always gets the
Or
last
finish
word.
him. I mean, what?
Yeah. Oh,
Not like that in a good way, like take you out, dude.
yeah, like
but
this.
yeah. I wasn't thinking like
Sorry.
that. Sorry.
No,
No.
no, my
But
brain went to totally, I should have known.
but
This
no,
is a
that's
family show, okay?
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh, she's drinking her wine. Yeah.
As I drink my wine, yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
No, I mean, I agree. There's a place in the market for both sides of it, and
Yeah.
it's our responsibility as show promoters, and I mean, you still are considered a vendor. I mean, you're a sponsor of the shows and stuff. To maintain a certain level
Yeah, I need to get
of
his name on some of those
yeah,
2024.
yeah, you do.
I don't know. It's weird.
Um,
Like last year was
but
on.
a quality control kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
and,
the same with the online stuff. I mean, it's
mhm,
like, as you were saying with shows, you can actually physically hold the animal and check it. It's like that's
yeah,
the whole reason that I've implemented certain things online, where it's like, hey,
mhm,
you can't just put something up there and just say, oh, this is available. It's like got to have a picture of it and all that.
Mhm.
It's like that's a because yeah, it is different. It's like online. It's never been as good as going to a show and actually buying something there or at a
no,
pet
but
store, same thing.
you're making it better in my eyes. You're making that experience better.
Yep.
And
Oh, 100%.
yeah, and there's going to be things that work and that don't work.
Yep.
You have the balls to throw stuff against the wall and see if they stick for real. And if they don't, and the community says, "Hey, this just isn't working right,"
Yeah.
you're also the constructive criticism that you can take. You take it very well. And we do the same thing at shows. We have so many people that come to us to give us ideas, and
Yep.
this our shows have evolved over the years. It's not a monarchy. It's not a dictatorship.
Yeah.
In our eyes and our shows. Well, she tells me what to do all the time, but that's why it says boss lady up
That's what
there.
I thought.
But
yours says head, whatever.
but for real, like we actually take the vendors.
Yep.
What I'm missing
Yeah.
the word.
Criticism or ideas.
Criticism or ideas. Yeah, we take that into consideration, and we actually
Yeah. And
enjoy.
that's what I'm trying to do too. It's like the more I can test out and the more information I get out of people, the better, and it's
Yeah,
like,
because
Yeah. I mean, there's more than one person. The more input that you have from people,
Yep.
always the better. 'Cause you just never know.
No, we welcome
Maybe
the
it's something
feedback.
you never thought about.
There's been quite
And
a lot of
that's
that.
happened a lot, and we're like, oh my
I mean,
gosh, that's so
I've done
cool.
things already in the last 6 months that, you know, I've basically like turned on and then I'm like, oh, nope, it didn't work. Turn it off. Let's not do it
Turn
that
it back
way.
off.
Or
turn it off.
change
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah, or change
And
it and
it's like
tweak it. Yeah.
on Monday, so we've done quite a few things recently. Like you can now buy now on MorphMarket
hmm
and stuff like that. But we're doing it in a way that's like it's a little bit different where it's like, okay, if you go to buy now, the seller still has to accept it. You know, they can't they can turn it down.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the money, it's like it authorizes a payment. So it's really not, you know, I know like a lot of people worried about that, about, you know, oh, if somebody buys this, we didn't even have a conversation. Like, I don't know if I want to sell to this person.
Gotcha.
And, you know, that way
Yeah.
we've kind of solved, you know, we've come up with like a solution for it that
Mm.
that is still ethical and still is like a reasonable way of doing things, but it adds that easier way of like, you know, buy now versus, oh, what payment methods do you accept? What, you know, what price are you willing to take? Or, you
Yeah.
know, and then they come back with, oh, well, you can Zelle me or PayPal me, you know, whatever. And then they're like, well, I don't know if I trust that, you know, I don't want to send Zelle. Like, I don't know you, you know? And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of that. It's like, I think that we're doing things in a way that is going to, uh, allow people to buy and sell online, but also keep it, you know, like structured and ethical and
Yeah.
like, you know, good. And like
Yeah. No.
next Monday, here in a few days on Monday, we're gonna have auctions on there. That's
I've
gonna
been
be a
Oh, that's
watching.
controversial
cool.
one.
Yeah, I've been watching that, the pros and cons of that, and I've seen that.
Yep.
And then there's people they're like, "Why are you doing it for this?" Yeah, it's you're never
But
gonna make
we're
everyone
doing it
happy.
in a pretty unique way too, kind of like the order, you know, the payments.
Cool.
So I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be one of the best things for MorphMarket and the sellers and the whole industry, just in general. You know, especially when without affecting the economy, you know, the market of reptiles
Yeah,
too much. I think that's
not
one of the biggest things people worry about.
it's 100.
It's like, hey, what are the auctions going to be at, and then how are they going to affect it? And you know, I think that uh, we're limiting it to one auction per seller to start per
hmm
month. So it kind of like it reduces the amount of auctions that can be done. And by only having one, you know, I think sellers are more likely to pick you know, a higher quality animal or, you know, make it a
Right.
little more, you know, find something unique and something that's higher dollar. And then on top of that, I think that having only one per month is also going to promote, you know, get them to promote the auction
Yeah.
because it's kind of like a, you know, a unique, you know, thing, like almost like an event sort of deal. It's like, hey,
Well, I
this is
think
our auction for the month.
yeah, and I think what that'll also do is there's going to be a lot of people that are going to tune in these auctions, and the people who don't win those auctions are more likely to probably go check out that profile, that seller's profile, and see
Yeah.
what other animals they have available because they didn't get what they wanted. Maybe there's something
Yep.
else that they can find. So either way,
Yeah,
I
if there's
think
20
it'll
people
be
on an
beneficial.
auction and they don't get it, you know, then the other, you know, maybe 15 of them might go buy something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't think
People
it's going to be bad at all. I think there might be a couple little minor issues with it at first,
to
but
be expected. Yeah,
yeah,
I think
but
it'll
it'll
be
be far better than anything else because, you know, that like with auctions, you know, it used to be like Ben Siegel and then
yeah, I was about to
Reptile
say,
Ring.
oh, Benny.
Yeah, and then Reptile
Wow.
Ring, you know, they did okay, and then it went to Facebook auctions,
hmm
which, you know, obviously you can't do any of that anymore.
No.
But even Facebook auctions, like they were kind of, you know, they were okay. But with MorphMarket, it's like we've got 500,000 people a month using the site. So
Yeah,
I think there's going to be, I think the auctions are actually going to do really well.
I hope so. I think
It's,
it'll be interesting to watch. I'll have to jump in and check some out. But
Oh
um,
gosh. Because what we need
got
is
a bid
more
on some
stuff right
auctions.
now. We just need more stuff right
no,
now.
I'm not talking about for buying animals. I want to see how it works. I want to see the functionality of it.
Well, and that's the cool thing too
I
is
may have some stuff I
Lies.
want to auction.
Lies. He will be buying. I know this.
No,
I'm
no,
used to it.
no.
It is what it
well
is.
that's the nice thing too is with you know, with you guys having a reptile shop and then us, you know, having stores too.
Mhm.
Um I think that any auctions that are low in price are actually going to push, bids up because, if the price is too low, somebody like us is going to go on there and be like, well, yeah, I'm going to bid on it. It's only
Yeah, absolutely.
We do that all the time in
$150.
our silent auctions to try to bid
Yeah,
them
we do
up,
it at our
so
shows. We
at our
bid on
shows,
stuff
we
because
do
it's
So I'm
silent
gonna be doing a
auctions.
lot of that too, just because it's like, why not?
Yeah.
If I win the auction, great. Then, I got a reasonable price and I bid it up and they're gonna get a better price for it now. So
Yeah. Well,
win-win
and
for everybody.
we were talking about I've seen a lot of this lately. The people upset about all the questions,
Mhm. Oh,
all
yeah.
of the
Tire
messages from
kickers
people.
and
But see, here's the thing: most of those people have done reptile shows, and that's your entire day at a reptile show when you're behind the
Yep.
table.
Yep.
You're answering the same. You're telling the customers the same thing. You're answering the same exact questions
And you're gonna
over
talk
and
to
over.
100 of them before you sell one thing.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what is triggering people
I don't get
to
it.
be so upset
Because being
about it.
online is a way to be lazy sometimes.
I understand,
It really is.
but there's also
But
trolls.
this
We get it,
is
but there's trolls
yeah,
at shows.
but this is
Yep.
animals, so you want
Yeah.
them to ask questions. You wanna make sure that they know what they're doing, that they understand the care, that kind of thing. So, to me, it's just part of it.
It's part of being in this hobby in this
Yeah.
industry. It really is.
And if they don't
Yeah.
get it by now, like, really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that you think would have gotten it by now, and the comments just blow my mind. Like, so what if you had
Oh, I
20?
see it every
That means
day.
20
It's
people that
bad.
saw your
Sometimes people
profile.
just need to bitch about things
Or
too.
some
That's just
people
how it
just
is.
need to go and make themselves feel better by asking the right question because they looked at an animal. They may be interested in it. Maybe they don't buy it. Maybe they buy it 6 months from now or buy one from you 6 months from now. You
And
don't
a
have
lot of
to
people are
be.
just trying to discredit MorphMarket too, I think. That's
Well, I mean, there are, but there are also there. I mean, some of those people have legitimate concerns, but to whine about it constantly,
yeah.
like you do this every
Like, it's almost like
weekend
a
at a
weekly
show.
thing for some people. It's like
Yeah,
every week they're like, "Oh."
you know how many we talked to so many people on at shows when we were vending that ask us the same questions about the
Haley,
animals, and
Haley,
Yep.
you're not hidden or anything.
I need a refill.
She needs a refill.
I was trying to
And they may walk around the show
whisper.
and come back and show you the snake, the gecko that they bought for $20 cheaper from somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing. That's part of the hobby. That's part of the industry. It's part of it.
Yep.
Part of the
And
business.
that's the
So
crazy thing too is like, I look at that and probably 70% of the time when somebody reaches out and they're like, this person is a tire kicker, you guys should look into this. I think they're a fake profile or whatever. We look at it and they sent 8 different inquiries to 8 different breeders and then picked one, like
yeah,
that's how it works. Like, how do you why would you
they're
expect that to not be the case? Like
they're
that's just,
shopping.
yeah, they're gonna find out what, especially with the economy the way it is, it's like people
Mhm.
they're gonna figure out which one's gonna give them the best deal and they're gonna go for that.
100%. And we see it at
Yeah.
shows too. It's the same thing. So people who
Yep.
are getting anybody that's listening to this that's new and has never done a reptile show before or
Yeah.
never listed on MorphMarket before, that's going to happen. You're going to get tire kickers.
And it's gotten worse. Like, the funny thing to me is a lot of people don't really understand why it's gotten worse, but on top of, the economy and, the market and whatever else, you have people who are going on MorphMarket, and they've always gone on MorphMarket, like even in the
Mhm.
past,
Yes, he died.
people are going on MorphMarket and then they don't buy and, whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's like 50% worse than it was, or 30% worse than it was. And, people are getting frustrated with it, but in reality, there's more people using the site and we're advertising, which MorphMarket never has done. So now that we're advertising, we're reaching people that are new that have never used MorphMarket, which
Yep.
means now inquiries are higher, sales are also higher, but it's going to take time for those inquiries. It's kind of like an expo. It's the same thing.
Yep.
You guys
100%.
pay more advertising, get more people into an expo,
Mhm.
and then people complain because there were a lot of lookers.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
then
every
exactly, and then
but
a
it
year
takes
later, they're no longer
that's
complaining because all those people came back and then they bought
And they're
something a
buying.
year later.
yeah,
So
exactly. They're
it might
like,
take us
"Oh."
a year, but the people coming back to MorphMarket a year from now, sales are going to be much higher in a year than they are today.
Yeah,
So
100%.
they're going to complain in the meantime. Like,
oh, we get it too. We get the same
Yeah.
thing, and it's we listen to those and we try to explain, especially to new people, that's just how it always has been, and that's never going to change. We're going to spend extra money. Now, I'm very, very selective and targeted with my advertising, and I don't do any super broad advertising other than because I want the people that are going to be willing to drive to this particular show in this particular area to come that have some sort of interest in what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? They may not buy at that show. We may have a 30% buy rate at a show. And then, but 30% of those people who didn't buy at the next show are probably going to be buyers.
Yeah.
Or even 10 or 20%. And over the year, it grows exponentially. So that now you have people that have never bought a snake before that come to a show, they buy in a year, and then 2 or 3 years now they're asking for a table because they're breeding. So and they're buying from other breeders and things like that. And that's the other difference. There's a lot of difference between a customer looking for a pet and a customer looking for a breeder. And we've gotten really good at getting a variety of those types of vendors. We have some people that literally the majority of all of their sales go to other vendors. They really do. And they don't care if they sell to a customer because they're selling super high-end, super complex genetics that they know that if the other vendors around them are making money, they're going to make money on Sunday, and they're great. They do fantastic. But yeah, so it goes hand in hand. We see it at shows. You see it online. It's been like that for years. Even, we were in gecko forums and we were trying to sell geckos, and it was the same thing constantly over and over and over. But you touched on a very important part, is that you're marketing. So you're bringing new people into it, right? And so you're going to see a huge influx of that because you're spending that money and you're getting those new customer base, but they'll turn into customers. They'll turn into buyers.
Eventually.
Yeah. And they'll turn into hobbyists. And if they don't, they don't. But there's always a new group of people come around,
Yeah, I have a separate.
Ask
totally
away.
Different. How did you start doing the cages? Totally different. Just wondering how it came about. They're really cool. They put them together. It's neat. Yeah.
Except for that damn hammer.
What?
He wails on that damn hammer. That mallet. Oh my God.
So they're actually a lot nicer now. We just upgraded them again. But so 2.5 years ago, I believe now.
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, I got to come up with something else to do,
Yeah, because you just didn't have enough
with my time, So, so I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, what about enclosures? And I start looking, and it was actually around the time. So it was about 2.5 years ago. It was right before, or maybe it was at the beginning of 2020 or right at the end of 2019. And I was trying to order, animal plastics enclosures. And I was trying to order a rack system from ARS. And both of them were like a 4 to 6 month wait.
Right.
And I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then the pricing on it. And then I was looking at other ones, and there were a few enclosures that were available, but either the prices were like just outrageous, or the enclosures weren't very big. They were small and only go up to 75 gallon, 60 gallon. So I was like, all right, we gotta make enclosures bigger, cheaper, all that. So I talked to a few people I knew, and after a few weeks, we came up with some ideas and started figuring out how to make like a cheap, $250, 120 gallon enclosure, because I wanted to have something that was cheap and worked well, and would get people to be able to like afford the proper size enclosure for their animal, rather than, because it was getting expensive. Even exoterras, it's the same thing. Like exoterras, they only get as big as like a 3618, 36 long by 18 deep. And even the 3618 is like, at any store anywhere, like it's going to be $250 to $300.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're hard to stack in space.
And they're glass, they're big, they, hard to
heavy,
stack.
yeah.
You have to go buy like a several $100 shelf just to put them on. And then They don't fit the shelf because the shelf's
like
only
that
18
part.
inches deep. So they hang over the edge, and yeah, I don't know. So I was like, all right, we got to do something, but they've come a long way. Like 2.5 years ago, they were crap. I mean, they were just like hunks of crap, and we like pre-sold a few hundred of them or something. I think like 200, and then like actually no, we pre-sold like 500,
Oh wow.
and like 150 of them canceled after a couple months. Like I was trying to like do like a Kickstarter thing, like fund it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, all right, well, I guess we're paying all this out for it. And yeah, it was but they're really nice now. I mean, like I think our 4x2x2 is like $269 shipped.
Yeah.
Or plus $7 shipping.
Yeah.
And then we're about to come out with a 5x2x2. I haven't told anybody else that, but
Herp's
that'll be
exclusive. You'll have
Yep.
to come debut it at Conroe.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the 5x2x2 is going to be killer, and it's going to be $329 shipped.
That's not bad. That's good. And they have glass now, right?
Yep, glass doors. The bottom panel
Nice.
is twice as thick now, so it can hold up to 80 pounds, I believe, in substrate. And then the aluminum framing on it is 30% thicker than previously, so it can hold quite a bit more. And then we're upgrading a bunch of other stuff. I think we're actually going to get rid of the handles too on the glass, so they won't have the like the big black handles, you know, with the screws and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
It'll just be like a really nice like glue on, like stick on handle with like a 3M tape or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a suction cup thing that like sits there that you can actually put, you can hang it from the little lock, and the suction cup can be used to just open the glass. So if you don't want to use handles, you can literally just have a full glass enclosure, no handles at all, and just use the suction cup to slide it, which will be
That's pretty
kind of
cool.
nice.
Yeah. Cool. So you're adapting and changing it as you know,
Yep.
as you get feedback from customers and people using them and stuff like that. Just the way it should work and everything, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're on like version 10. We've made about 10 different versions over 2.5 years, and it's like there's always a problem. And it's crazy to me because people don't realize how much goes into it, and it's it's pretty stressful, you know, because you get them in, and then we've got a problem, and now we got to throw away $50,000 worth of material because this material won't work. And yeah, it's a lot. There's all sorts of stuff. Like we realized in winter that the corner connectors crack they get brittle due to the cold.
Okay.
And so we had to change the material on them, but we already had all the material and everything was pre-made and ready to go. And so we just had to like ship them out and replace all these
Oh wow.
complete bottom panels. And so we shipped out like 200 replacement bottom panels for people.
Wow.
And it was a nightmare because it takes like a month and a half, 2 months to get all the material in and get the mold
get it ready
for it and everything else. And yeah.
Well, at least you're, you know, like I said, adapting, changing.
Yep.
Listening to your customers.
That was my question. See, I did something.
That was a good one.
I did something.
So, are you gonna be coming back to New Orleans with us anytime soon?
Bourbon Street. Hell yeah.
Why are you laughing?
No,
Wait, is Sid alive?
Sid is alive. He told me,
he's alive, but he doesn't drink anymore.
At all.
No, we broke him.
Poor Sid.
The first New Orleans show that we did, what's the first one?
I don't know. The
First
first
or
one David
second
did
one?
for sure.
Darien and Sid came out and they were vending, and as you know, most of the time when we were in New Orleans, we'd go out to Bourbon Street Saturday night. Well, Sid almost died. Like 2 Ubers skipped him, right?
Yeah,
like legit. Like
the Ubers wouldn't pick him up because there's like he is not puking in my car.
Yeah, he was literally laying in Bourbon Street, and if you've been to Bourbon Street, you know how filthy that place is. But we could not get him up off the road, and this was like 10 o'clock at night. Bourbon's a bad bitch. She really is.
Mhm.
And
It wasn't that late, yeah, and
it
it
was
was
real
rough.
early. Just-
I was really drunk too. I mean, I was sitting there like
Oh,
I was
we were all-
Oh yeah,
probably
you were pretty lit, but Sid was a whole nother level. But again,
well,
I mean, he didn't drink very much, and he didn't weigh hardly
No,
anything. So
yeah.
I mean,
no, he
yeah.
drank. He had over. He had around 20 drinks. Yeah,
He
Wow.
drank a ton, babe.
he drank a ton. He
Well, I
drank
know, but he didn't drink much normally.
Oh no, he's like
Yeah,
a heavy
yeah,
drinker all
yeah.
the time.
He wasn't like a heavy drinker.
No,
yeah,
he's not a drinker.
no, but like I mean, we were drinking like hurricanes and
Huh.
hand
Hand
grenades,
grenades.
and- yeah.
hand
Yeah, we gotta
grenades,
do.
and I mean
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff with like 4, 5, 6 shots in it.
Yeah.
And I mean it was
It'll
it was
get you
horrible.
quick.
So Sid didn't
So
make
he
it to the
didn't-
show
but-
on
But he
Sunday.
didn't answer. When's he coming back? When he coming back?
He
Darien? He's coming back
he
to
hugged the
Bourbon
toilet
Street
at,
with us.
he hugged the toilet evidently all night,
You're not letting him answer.
and they had
Was
to
that
stay
the
over
last
an extra
show?
night.
Was that the last show that he did?
That's
Oh,
the last
yeah.
time we ever saw
Yeah.
him. We thought he died.
Really?
Yeah, because you said he had to stay in the hotel, and y'all had to stay an extra night because you couldn't get him out of the hotel. He was sleeping in
On Sunday, he
on the
wouldn't- yeah.
toilet,
Yeah.
and you came to
Literally
the
on
show.
Sunday, it was like I think it was oh yeah, like I could hardly sleep and I was drunk, but I was waking up throughout the night, hearing him like, you
Yeah.
know, puking and
Early.
I mean it was bad, yeah. It was wild. I think we finally went and had like we finally had dinner at like 8 or 9 p.m. on Sunday night.
On
That was
Sunday?
the first time he ate after the
Oh
yeah.
gosh. Poor
after
guy.
Saturday night. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Poor
wild.
guy.
Bourbon broke him.
Yep.
That's
I
the
had to
last
spend-
time we
I
saw
had to
him.
spend the whole Sunday myself, and
Yep.
I was hungover as
You were
hell.
hung- Most of us were
Most of
still
us
drunk
were
at that
pretty
show.
rough,
Andy
yeah.
slept under his table. I had to go work his booth.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
was on the
Andy
table.
was
Yeah.
green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was sleeping. He was snuggling with this little snake.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I don't
worked
know
his
that we
table.
ever. I think out of all the Herp shows, I don't know that there was ever a show near that bad. Like
No,
for
that was
everybody.
that
just-
was probably the
Bourbon Street.
worst. It's just
Like,
Bourbon
you
Street.
just-
Snake
yeah.
Flipping. That was probably absolutely the worst, I think.
yeah, I feel like
Um,
there was at least 8 or 10 of us that were just, I mean, useless.
Me
on
included.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, me included.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
slept in the truck.
But
for a
that's
while.
kind of normal on Sundays for me now too. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
it
you
is.
know, hey.
Um,
Yeah,
but
especially
yeah,
now
we,
that I
Those are
have all
good
my
times.
staff
Those
that
are
just
good
all
times.
does everything for me. It's
Yeah.
like,
so when will we expect to see you at one of our Herp shows? Sponsor?
I don't know, in the next month or so.
like January Conroe this month,
What's the date? What's the date on that one?
27th and 28th.
Yeah, it's the last weekend in January.
The reason I never make it to that one is my anniversary is the 26th.
We'll come with your
Come
wife.
with your wife.
I know.
Make an anniversary
She's like,
trip,
that's exactly what I want to do is go to a reptile expo for my anniversary.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, who wouldn't?
At least we'll be in Slidell,
Who wouldn't?
New Orleans.
Yeah, we'll be in Slidell. Yeah,
Far.
we have a show for our anniversary.
Now, New Orleans, on the
Oh.
other hand, she'd probably be like, all right, let's do that. That's fun.
That is April 6th and 7th. So
But we'll be. That's our anniversary.
yeah, that's our.
Well,
Well, ours
are
the
we
4th.
are we going early or staying late?
I don't know yet.
We're either going to go in early.
Oh no, we're definitely staying late because we'll be in Kansas and Kansas City before.
Oh yeah, we'll be up there in your
Yeah.
neck of the woods.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
week
April.
before.
Isn't it like April 1st or like March
April 6th and
31st?
7th is our
no,
show.
when is the?
Oh,
Central
it's
Kansas?
the March like 24th and 25th, I think. Wait, 17 plus 7's what? No,
24.
16. No,
What?
16, 17.
You can't math.
23rd and 24th, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Weekend
go up.
before Easter.
Yeah, we're gonna go up
Yep.
and go in that show, and then we're gonna go over and see her family in Kansas City, that we haven't
Yep.
seen. So
Okay.
we're gonna stay after that show, after the Slidell show. We're gonna stay in.
Oh, but I forgot. There's Easter in between. So who knows? I'll plan it.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you at one of the shows. I think that the Conroe is obviously the biggest. You've been there, you've ended it, you've seen it,
Yeah.
but it's grown since you've been there. I think a lot.
I mean, Oklahoma's next week, and it's not very far.
yeah, we are in Oklahoma next
saying.
weekend,
Just saying
This
it's not
weekend or
very
next
far.
weekend?
13th and
Next
14th.
weekend, 13th, 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come down for that. How about that?
Okay, yeah, we're at the Shawnee
Yeah,
show.
that's what you said last Oklahoma show. Just letting you know.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
called you out on that one.
love you, Darien.
I'll be there. I will be there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just Oklahoma City, right?
It's in
yeah,
Shawnee.
it's in
Yeah.
Shawnee, but
It's right
just
in
a little
between
south.
Oklahoma and
In
Tulsa.
between
Yeah.
Tulsa and Oklahoma City, then.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a little bit
Yep.
south. Yeah,
Good show.
there's
Lots
I
of
mean,
fun.
we are opening a store in Oklahoma City, so I got to go
I
down there.
know. I'm excited
Yeah.
Might
about
as
that
well do
too. And you're opening a store in Houston.
yes. Are you over? Already did.
It's
already
open?
Yep.
It's open running?
Yeah, December 15th.
See how much
I
I've
talked
been...
to Brittany.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been-
Well, yeah. And then I had a message from Dustin that said that you have to open a shop in Tennessee somewhere. Somebody said. He literally messaged me and said,
Doesn't he have one?
Darien, he wants Darien to buy it, and so he could just work for him.
Oh yeah, buy Dustin's shop.
No,
What's-
he said
what's the store?
West Tennessee, Birdie-Town
Birdie-Town
Exotics.
Exotics.
Josh and Dustin. The CF Exotic Expo, and his parents run that. He's got a shop out in West Tennessee.
Dustin Bickerstaff.
He messaged me. But yeah, do you have any other expansion ideas? I know we've talked quite a bit about it, but as far as shops are concerned,
Yeah, we're gonna open quite a few, I think.
gotcha.
We just hopefully tomorrow we have some info on Kansas City. So
Yeah, I did see that too. That'd be cool.
that'll be a good one. We actually, the place we're looking at is right next to the mall, like one of the biggest malls there.
Okay.
And it's right off the freeway with signage and everything, and
Good.
it's 10,000 square feet.
Oh wow,
That's big.
Nice.
And it's like a standalone building too, so we don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be in a standalone building. My shop's only 3,500
Yeah, this one will
square
be
foot,
by far our biggest shop at 10,000 square feet. It's like double the size of our second biggest. So I don't even know what we're
Cool.
going to do with it if we do it. It's like
It'll look cool.
lot
You
of-
can do cool
a
stuff.
lot of space.
Yeah,
Maybe,
but I mean,
maybe we'll just do some crazy, just put some massive like alligator tank in there or something right in the middle of it.
there you go.
Something crazy.
A fishing pond in the middle. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just see if the city will allow it, and then we'll put like a 12-foot alligator in there, and call it a day.
There you go.
Hey, they're not native there, so
No, there's
you
a
might be able to.
It's funny you say that though. There's a bank in Alvin, Texas, and anybody from the Alvin area knows this bank. And it literally in the fountain had an alligator in it for years and years and years inside the bank when you walked in. And as far as I know, it was still there last time somebody said anything about it. So if anybody is from the Alvin area and knows about the alligator that's in that, say something. But there's been quite a few people I've talked to, and they're like, "What?" And then other people are like, "Oh yeah, I used to go in there all the time when I was a kid to go look at the alligator."
Okay,
In the bank.
weird. In a bank. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was in the
reptile
bank.
shop, I get it, but not a bank.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the bank. So.
It must have been a reptile guy or something that owned
Yeah.
the bank.
I think the logo of the bank had an alligator on it too. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
Do we
geez.
let people ask some questions?
Yeah, let's go. We're going to take some questions real quick.
Anybody have any questions for Darien? Oh gosh, sorry, Darien.
Nile Crocs at the new facility.
Oh God, here we go with that crap.
I swear that was
let's
my
see.
Facebook for like a week. It was
Dude,
just
it
like,
still is. Yeah, just Nile Crocs everywhere.
Nile Crocs.
Look, I skipped this earlier, but
What?
Amanda and Lee are on. They said we lose our voices at shows talking about the same thing to 100 people. Then maybe make one sale. It's just part of the deal. And they've been doing it for a long time too, so they get it. Stevie K says we love our Doobie enclosures. We use them for our breeders and babies. Glass doors. I love that.
Other people say I need
Miss
a
you,
bell for me to
Lori.
get drinks. And
Get
love you,
more
Lori.
drinks.
Lori's the best thing in the world. Sean
Come down to
sucks.
OKC.
Sean sucks.
Come
Lori's
down to
great.
OKC and bring New Way burgers.
Lori's the best thing in the world. Sean's kind of mid. I don't know what's that. going on.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
meh.
yeah.
Meh.
I'm just here, just the pretty face. But
Thanks, man.
anybody else have any questions real quick before we go to our next topic? What advice will you give to new breeders on MorphMarket? There you go.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Who's that from? That's Stevie K.
Stevie.
That's Pink Dragon, right?
The Pink Dragon.
Yeah, really new vendors of ours. They've been to 2 or 3 shows.
Kaylin wants some Dubia. We're talking to Dubia. Like, get
Yes,
some Dubia
Kaylin, we
roadshows
are
from
dealing
Darien.
with that already. Me and Darien have talked about it. There's a good one though. This guy's been vending. He's been at a couple of our shows. Super nice husband and wife. Amazing animals. Really cool setup. It's really eye catching. It looks really good. It's pink. Everything's pink. But ours is purple and green. So, but they literally their question is, what advice would you give to new breeders on MorphMarket?
I don't know, I'd say the main things are, number one, post your animals over time. Like, don't post them all at once and then not post anything for weeks, or a month.
Yeah.
Kind of spread it out where your ads are going to be seen, like, every few days. Post something every week. If you've got a handful of animals, do it every few days or every week. Good pictures, that's key to all of it. If you don't have good pictures, you're not going to sell anything on there.
Don't
I've got
oversaturate your pictures, people.
Yep. And don't take your pictures like with a camera from 2003, like
Like
Yeah.
me.
take a good
Yeah.
quality photo. Don't take it over your bathtub. Don't take it when you're sitting there in your underwear at night, snapping a photo. We've had that a few times.
Or with you in
Here,
the mirror.
and let me give you a real good piece of advice
Let
on
Darien
on
answer his
on the
question.
picture thing. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive, light box and stuff like that. A freaking styrofoam cooler from the Dollar General works amazing to take pictures in, believe it or not.
Yep.
Turn it on its side, there's your light box.
They
99
have some
cents,
light boxes for like $15-20 on Amazon too.
Yeah,
They work
they do.
fine.
Yep,
Like,
they work great.
it's like $20. It's the best thing you can buy.
Yep.
You use your phone. You don't have to go buy a camera for photos for online. Just use your phone. Spend like 10 minutes on a couple YouTube videos and they'll tell you exactly how to set up your phone the right way and take better photos and all that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So some of the best pictures on MorphMarket are from just people who like researched it and they figured out how to do it with their phone. So, and then I'd say that, have unique stuff. It's like, I see people complain all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling anything at shows," all that. And then I go look at their stuff and it's like, "Oh, it's all you have is pastel, pastel enchi, pastel, pastel, pastel enchi." Like it's like you have the same thing 10 times over and you have
Mhm.
25 animals available and they all look identical, and I think that when I've gone to shows, I do the same thing. I go to one table, I go talk to them, and I notice that they have all the same stuff. They have like 2 or 3 different varieties of morphs of whatever species. And then I go to a different one, and they've got like you've got your xanthics, and then they've got bananas, and then they've got pies and albinos, and they've got a little bit of everything. And the more variety you have and the more unique stuff you have, the better you're going to do. You're like you're kind of reaching out for everybody. It's like, hey, I've got 10 different things. I'm going to find somebody who wants one of them,
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you have all the same stuff, your market's like 10%. It's like, okay, only 10% of the people going to the expo or going on MorphMarket are interested in what you have versus 80%, 90%.
Right.
So I think that's one of the biggest things, honestly. It's like have that contrast. It's like I love going to an expo and seeing it, a person's table, and it's like you've just got like this bright, you've got like albinos, and then you've got a pied, and then you've got an xanthic, and they're all, it's like you've got the grayscale stuff, and then you've got something that's vibrant and like more yellow, and something that's more like pink or orange,
Mhm.
and you just it's like it's eye catching when you have that. So
Yeah, I'm guilty of walking by tables and just like hitting the brakes. Even a show, and as many thousands and thousands of animals
Yep.
as we've seen, every once in a while something will just catch my eye, and I'll be like, "Whoa, what the crap?" Because they have it set up so perfectly. The same thing when you're scrolling through ads.
Yep.
If you have the same visual genetics and you're scrolling through, you're just like, "Oh, it's the same thing." You're gonna miss some of the other stuff, but having that break up your visual with something eye catching like that, it's gonna change it. So it's good
Yeah, for
advice
sure.
too. Um, let's see, what else did we get? Any tips for getting the word out about reptile related items like books for kids? It's that.
Yeah.
So this is a great question from Jessica Anderson. She writes kids reptile books. They're
They're so
absolutely
cute.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, they're so great.
And they vend our shows, and they're just like the nicest family. Um, on my side of that, I could actually help you do some lower end, just basic social media advertising. for you to get, some of the word out, to reach out, so I could reach out to you about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, you don't have a book section of MorphMarket, do you? But
Do you have any sections on MorphMarket for like just reptile related things like
No, we
3D
don't. It's really
animals
tough
or-
adding like products and stuff because of
Mhm.
Yeah,
inventory and whatever
figured.
else. It gets kind of complicated.
Yeah,
I
and
get
and,
it.
and
Um,
I can work with Jessica on that with the a little bit of advertising and something and help
Sure.
her get that out there because her product is amazing. I mean, it's not a product; it's in her heart. Like literally,
Yeah.
they're coolest things. I'm actually gonna have to get you one and send it to you, Darien. Your kids would love it too.
Yeah, your kiddos would love it.
where do I find that book?
Jessica, we have it. Jessica, you want to post the link for your real quick? Post the link where they can find your books. And then we have, see, if not, I'll send you her info, Darien. It's really cool.
Okay.
And then please explain a healthy, varied bug diet. That was your question, not mine. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh.
Sorry, I was looking at the book stuff.
Oh, did she send you the link or? Oh no, they haven't.
No, I looked it up. I found it pretty quick.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that book stuff's really cool. I think we actually sell just on that point before I go to the next one. We
Mhm.
sell a lot of kids books and like reptile related, books and things like that at our pet stores too. So
I was
Yep.
about to say that,
And-
Sean, you need to get some in our pet stores from her.
Oh yeah,
too.
no, I'm gonna do a big.
Okay.
I just keep missing.
And
I'm
then you
always
can definitely
confused.
put those in your stores
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Darren.
Jessica posted the link up there. JessicaLeeAnderson.com.
Awesome.
Anybody that hasn't seen or met Jessica at the shows, go
Well,
check
she's only
it.
been in our Austin so far. So
yeah.
yeah.
Go
But
check it out.
hopefully she's starting to do some
Yeah,
more,
go check
which
it
we're
out.
excited about.
They're really, really, really good. They're an amazing product. So we're excited to have her there. So let's see.
Yeah, so the next question, I think that the more variety the better. I think there's a lot of misinformation on that stuff
Waco, yeah.
being spread right now, but a lot of places are like, oh, people are feeding way too much, or like, you should just feed these, or crickets have, viruses, or dubia have too much protein, stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know, I think variety is really key for everything. It's like the more you feed, the better. And too many people are, it's like, oh, my bearded dragon or my leopard gecko only likes super worms. And it's like, well, that's probably not a good sign, if that's all they're eating. And then they're like, well, I don't want to starve it. It's like, well, don't feed it for a week. Only feed it other stuff. And if it gets hungry, it's going to eat the other stuff.
We did that with fat tails. Remember doing that?
Yeah.
Remember trying to switch those fat tails? Oh my lord.
Yep.
Those are stubborn little bastards.
Mhm.
Yeah. Reddy's Rainforest.
Oh, she said she was saying she has some keychains.
Oh, neat reptile info keychains.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, she has drawn her own stickers and stuff. So her little reptile stickers with her little geckos and
cute.
chameleons and stuff. And if you've ever seen any Reddy's Rainforest stuff, their chameleons are second to none, obviously. Probably in the United States. And they're back. They're going to start breeding Parsons chameleons. They're getting back into Parsons.
I'm so excited.
Lee and Amanda. Yeah, they're the first
We
person
need a
I ever.
Parsons. We don't. That's one thing that I've never actually had. I've never had a
They're
Parsons.
so cool.
First time that I've ever interacted was
theirs.
Was Bentley.
Yes, me
was
too.
Bentley.
Yeah.
And he's getting back into it now. They're getting some more Parsons and getting into it because they're understanding now finally how to hatch them properly because of their long incubation time, So someone who is that?
That's Amanda. Hi,
Amanda Bow says, I have thrown around the idea of a pet store in my area. Any advice? Don't do it.
Sean.
No, I'm just playing. We can both probably give a little bit of advice on this, although you have two.
Let Darren go.
I might open up one in College Station.
Oh, we have
We
3
should.
now.
Why not?
Look, they have 3
We
stores.
should, babe.
No,
Why
I don't.
not?
No.
And then here in a month and a half, 2 months, we'll have 4, and then about a month after that, we'll have 5.
Yep.
But
My
they're
only
pretty
advice
tough.
about
I mean,
it, yeah.
It's definitely not the easiest thing in the world, and It's a lot of work unless you have the right people. That's all it really comes down to. It's like you got to
That's
have really good
ex-
people working.
That's literally the
exactly
only
what
reason ours has been successful.
exactly
All it
what I
is.
was gonna
Yep.
say.
I mean, despite you, it has been.
Yeah, despite me.
Kaylin and Eddie and the team.
Yeah, my staff is the reason that my shop is as successful as it is.
Yep.
I tell them that every day. I have a wonderful staff that I trust with my life. I trust them with everything. And that's the key, honestly. Because you can do all the work. Because I mean, we built it from scratch with our own hands. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
I didn't buy prefab shelving. We kind of put together as we went along. The one thing that I understood is that I had I had a leg up on other stores around me because I can source animals directly
From our vendors.
from our vendors.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
know
what
where
we're
the
doing with
animals
our
come
stores too. Like that's kind of our goal is if we can open 10 plus stores and we can source 80-90% of the animals from MorphMarket sellers, then it's kind of a
Yeah.
win for everybody. So,
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I'm lucky in that I put on the shows and I'm at every show, obviously, and I can talk directly
Yep.
to the breeders and we can source them and we know where they came from. And that also goes a really long way when we're giving that information to the customer. Yeah. So, but it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of investment, and it is
And you have to be ready for the ones that don't thrive and things that happen and your freezer goes out or
Yep.
there's
We
a
lost-
lot of different things and
we lost an entire freezer full of rodents
last week. Yeah. So
yeah, that's
So-
the worst when stuff like that happens.
Yep. And
Yep.
there's nothing to do but start over, get another order in, you know? So, but yeah, the thing is that your demographics are going to play into some of that too, but your marketing, advertising, and your word of mouth is going to spread if you're trying to do a show, but staff is key. 100%.
Yeah.
Shop.
And I'd say after staff, the second most important thing is location.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
all about where it is and how easy it is to get to and how many people see it every day. So,
Yep.
if you don't have it in the right spot, you're not going to do well. It's going to take a lot more advertising.
Yeah, and I'm actually competing against 3 big box stores, and their employees shop with us.
Yep. Yeah, we do the same
so-
thing. We kind of go and talk to the employees at Petco and PetSmart, and we say, hey,
Mhm.
we'll give you 20% off on anything you want to buy from Exotic Pets. And then after a while, they just promote us.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Oh no, and the managers at some of the big box stores will send people to us because we don't have our store's kind of like we have different stuff. We have odd and strange stuff because I'm an odd and strange kind of person, but I don't have the everyday,
Yep.
you know, one tank of a leopard gecko, one ball python, and one veiled chameleon. You know, we have all kinds of crazy stuff. So, ethical stores plus ethical breeders equals success for everyone, including the reptiles.
You have a list
Yep.
today.
No, tired. I'm exhausted.
That's
I'm exhausted. So tired.
I'm the one drinking, and
No,
I'm not
it's the
slurring.
I thought I
I'm
was
Coca-Cola.
on
taking
a
in cursive
podcast with
thing.
Mike Tyson for a second there.
Yeah,
No,
I
right?
couldn't talk
He
for a
sounds
minute.
so weird in the.
I couldn't talk for a minute. My
What's
brain
wrong
was
with
the
you?
hamster's dying.
Well,
The hamster in my head's dying.
I'm drinking.
I'm
and
surprised you're the one slurring your words over here. And
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
My cup even says I'm not slurring. I'm speaking in cursive. Like I'm supposed to be the one. Whatever.
Oh God.
Oh, it's always
are you
some
going
kind
to
of
do a
disappointment.
4x2x4? Yes. That'll be actually any day now. I think we'll have those. So we'll have
cool.
5. We'll have the 4x2x2, 5x2x2, 4x2x4, and then 2x2x4, which is like our arboreal. And then we're actually coming out with, we'll have our chameleon version soon as well. So we'll have those ones, instead of having a glass front, they'll have a screen front. And those are going to be 2x2x4 and 4x2x4. So pretty large.
Oh wow, yeah.
There's a
And-
guy that knows what I was talking about the old market, about geckos.
Darien is famous from
No,
Gary.
Gary Orner Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to buy from him all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Sean, shipment coming to my work.
Yeah.
Need your help when I get home.
Gary's online.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've done a lot of business in the past because we were in the gecko world.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Darien is
what else?
famous.
You need to talk.
I'm not as
you got
famous
some
as you,
questions?
Gary. Everybody
No.
knows you.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm just drinking. And hanging
Okay.
out.
Well, I mean, you've known Darien
I
as long as
asked.
I have, so you can talk to him too.
I know.
Okay.
I just need to get him signed up for shows. That's my job.
Like that's all she's focused
Yeah.
on. You see why this works? Because I'm just like, "Ooh, let's talk about pretty animals," and she's like, "You gotta do shows. You gotta do shows."
I'll message you tomorrow,
Yep,
Darien,
she's
and I
gonna-
expect
she's
you to
gonna-
actually read it and respond. Okay.
All right.
She's not-
I'm just.
I will be in Oklahoma City next weekend.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
And
She's-
you know, as a
I'll be there.
sponsor, one of your perks is that if you do want to vend, you go top on the waiting list, so you pretty much get in. So there
Yep.
you go. I mean, if you want any of them, but I'll harass you a lot in Oklahoma City, and then you got to go out Saturday night to the casino and drink with me. Okay.
All right.
It's not going to be like Bourbon Street.
Okay. Okay. He said yes. See, it's on video.
What?
Like I can play
Is
this
it a
back
nice
for him.
restaurant?
We go to a little one. They
We go-
have a really nice one there. We can go to the nice one if you need to go to the nice one. We
No,
can.
if you want to win
But-
money, you go to the one that we go to. If you want
Well,
to lose your money, you go
Do
to
you
the
do
Grand.
tables or slots though? Because the one we go to is mostly
Tables.
just slots. Okay, we need to go to Grand.
We can
We'll go to
We
Grand.
can go to the Grand.
Yeah, and it's actually a nice one. They have the new one too, the Kickapoo close to
We
the
haven't even done that
venue.
one yet, have we?
We should try that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure something out. Anything else you want to talk about that's coming up new that you're excited about with MorphMarket or Jubia.com? Daring party's hard too.
We've
Trust
seen
me,
it.
we've seen it, Gary.
It's just
Only,
been so long.
yeah, only with the Herps crowd.
Yeah,
Only with the
And that's
Herps
because
crowd.
of my influence. I understand.
you have to admit that's what sets us apart, though. Like we actually
Oh, for
go,
sure, for sure.
we
Oh, my
love-
drinking? That's what sets us
No,
apart? Oh my
like,
God. No, I'm just kidding.
we joke about
but
it all
You're
the
like,
time.
we
but-
are
Family.
functioning alcoholics. You know, this is
Sean
No.
doesn't even drink.
No, alcoholics go to meetings. She's
I'm
an
a drunk.
alcoholic.
Alcoholics go to meetings. Thank you very much.
No, but we
Yes.
do. We like to go have fun with our vendors. We
Get to
really,
know
yeah.
to learn, about your families, which like we literally care about it.
And
some people think it's BS,
and
and
some-
that's fine. Then they don't need to be there.
and
That's
some people
okay.
don't go the
You don't
second
have to
time.
go out with us. You can just go to the show and vend and do your thing. That's fine. I respect that completely.
100%.
Or you can come out and have fun too. Either way, I'm still gonna
it makes
appreciate
the
you
shows way
being there.
better. I don't like doing other shows because it's like you go to the show and then you leave. You know, it's like all right, whatever. Or they have
Yeah,
like
and
an
we-
auction. They have like an
Yeah.
auction or something, and it's like,
Yeah.
I will tell you that is the one thing that I hear the most is that it's like regardless of whether they do every single one of our shows or not, when they do ours, it's a different feeling. And it's just it's different for them.
Well, we take pride in that, too.
And that's our
Yeah.
niche. That's our thing.
Yeah, because we
And some of them like to watch us fight too because it's pretty funny.
no, we
well,
never
you
fight.
guys remember the first year that I did your shows? I didn't even drink.
No, I know. We
Definite
drove you to
rum shot
drinking because this one.
I was still I still had the Mormon blood in me. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's
no
right. I remember
alcohol,
that.
no coffee, nothing.
That's
I was
right.
A good,
I
I was a
remember
good
that.
little boy, and then I started hanging out with you guys, and
Yeah.
you know, a
I'm
year
so
later,
proud. Oh, I'm so proud. I love it when I hear success stories like that. So proud.
a year later, I was getting drunk every day. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Nice. Well, you don't have to do that much, but you just
No.
need to come to Oklahoma, come out on Saturday, and have fun.
no,
Hang out with us.
we do. We try to make it. We try to
Sean's
make it.
boring though; he doesn't even drink. So
I mean, you
he's
have to. You really have to drink to have fun in Oklahoma. So
pretty much yes.
or
That's
pretty
Kansas,
much.
or Kansas.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas scares me. I hate
driving through Kansas.
that one
like,
road. That
God.
there's nothing but McDonald's.
Oh
and a
my
gas
God, there's
station,
like 7
every,
McDonald's and
yeah.
a gas station, and that's all you do for like
All there
5
is.
hours. You're like, oh my God, goodbye. Yeah.
It's
So we're gonna make that trip up Wichita pretty soon.
Yeah. We'll definitely be coming on the trip. We're gonna come see you. Well, we'll see you in a couple
100%.
weeks, but we are planning on the trip to come up and do that. And so we want to come see
for
the
sure.
spots and
I know.
check
you're
out
only coming
everything.
up to Wichita for the
the Central Kansas. No. We talked about
we're
coming
coming to see you
'cause we're staying the whole
too,
week
see your
after.
shop, and then going up to see my family in Kansas
Yep.
City too. So
We-
we have lots planned.
we had that in. We
For
had
sure.
that planned.
Well,
But
maybe,
yeah,
maybe our Kansas City store will be pretty close to
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
work
I'd love
on
to
at
see that.
time. I don't know.
You
Yeah.
can put Sean to work helping you with it.
somebody said I need my pygmy hippo. Who was that?
Oh God. That's Nikki.
yeah, I need my pygmy hippo.
No, really, please
Just-
don't encourage him. I thought we were friends. We were just becoming friends. Oh.
But yeah, man.
I'm surprised they know Joe Smith. Most people don't know who that is.
Who?
Joseph Smith.
Oh,
Oh.
Mormon, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mormon. Yep.
From Joseph Smith to Johnny Walker. That's greatness. That's Stevie. But yeah, man. We've both come a long way in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been crazy.
Your Facebook posts are blowing up over
I
all my
know.
stuff for
I
sale
know.
in my shop.
I know. Yeah.
Diana Hine needs to buy it or not.
Yeah, no shit. Diana needs to buy. But yeah, man, we're proud of you for your success.
Absolutely.
I know you've
really
you've
cool.
taken on a whole new monster with MorphMarket, and you know, I think.
But you do it with humor and with grace both. So I mean that's appreciated. And I don't think
And a little bit of shit stirring.
every once in a while, but it's
a lot of that.
I know.
I've been good the last month or two. I've been pretty good.
Yeah, I've been
you're
seeing
a good
crazy. The Nile thing, yeah.
You're a good human with your good family values, and you know we've known you a long time, and people that really get it will realize that too.
Yep,
so.
and you'll come out smelling like roses at the end.
Absolutely.
So, and here's the thing: you're as much as you help and give is another reason I think that we clicked like that and we're friends, is because it's something that's very important to us to give back to those who don't have it.
Absolutely.
And if anybody takes anything out of all of this, they need to understand that is what's one of the most important things for you and your family, is to give back to people who don't have. And I don't care
100%.
Anybody that can come to me and talk shit and say, oh, Darien's an asshole or whatever. I know who you are personally, and you and I are friends. But that to me is, I think, one of the reasons that we are on the same page a lot, because I came from nothing, and anything that I have, no matter what, if somebody needs it, it's theirs. Right.
Yeah.
And we've fundraisers and we've raised money for USARC, but we've raised so many, the Herps Family Foundation thing, like that's all something that we don't need clout over. That's something that truly comes from the bottom of our hearts.
Yep.
And it's the same with you. You know, you're not doing it because you want that clout. You're literally doing it because you want to help people. And I think all of the things that you're doing in MorphMarket is people are skipping the fact that you're actually still trying to help them make sales. That's part of why this works so well. Yeah. You're going to help them make sales and provide for their families. And that's what we do at the shows. That's our goal, is to help
and not
people.
Everything is going to be perfect. Not every one of them is going to be perfect.
People are going to get mad that I added fish and plants.
Yeah, I know.
Right. But you can't make everybody happy, but you can definitely do what you can. And for the ones that really deserve it,
they're missing the point that those people that are in aquatics and plants may end up buying from him, because there's it's a huge crossover.
It's such a crossover.
So you're trying to reach out to different demographics, and people don't understand that. But they will. I'm very tired.
I think
but
Darien is too.
I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing, man. I appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy as hell, just like we are. But let's see, what's a gold
More than
star
we
for
are.
not starting the pot in a month or so.
Love you too, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
So,
Jimmy
but yeah, if you guys don't have a MorphMarket account, go get one. And if you need dubia.com, you can get all your feeder needs and lots of other cool stuff. And if you're in the area, definitely go see the shops. One to open in Houston.
What locations? Houston, Wichita, soon Kansas City, and then where else?
Soon Oklahoma City, and then Kansas City.
Okay.
And then potentially either Omaha or Lincoln after that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Too fucking cold up there. But
you can go in the summer, baby.
But yeah, so if you don't show up to Shawnee,
I'm gonna give you so much shit. Like, for real.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I know there'd be a hit out on me if I didn't.
Yeah.
I know, it's like recorded everywhere now. Like, I think this goes everywhere. Like, there's so many people. There's millions on this.
Yeah. But no, dude,
it'll be rebroadcast too. I mean, like, it's everybody's gonna see this. So yeah.
But we appreciate it. Anybody else have any parting words for Darien or me or Boss Lady before we go?
I'm about to start karaoke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about
You're going to start karaoke?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Darien, hang on one second. I'm going to take you off real quick. We're going to close out our show.
And we'll be right back.
I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Means the world to us. And hang on one second, okay?
Having me.
There we go.
What's up, Gary Orner? After the alcohol.
The old gecko people are coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Like Matt Baronick started showing up again, and
Wow.
but Gary's just been hanging out. Gary's doing some cool stuff. Gary's got a platform, and he's
Well,
doing
Darian's waiting for us, and he's really tired. So
I know.
let's
I'm just
talk.
saying hi. Anybody else? Okay.
No.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to our first podcast back.
In a long time.
Since June of last year. So we're going to continue to
Or
do that.
maybe
We'll
July.
be posting.
I can't remember. It
June or
is all
July.
a blur after July for me.
We're going to get some information up about our upcoming shows.
Yes.
Over the next couple of weeks. We're very busy getting going.
I'm going to start reaching out tomorrow and get the next few.
Debbie and Bill better be next.
I'm going to try to get them the Wednesday before Conroe.
Yeah.
And then I want to get Debbie and Bryce for the
SMS?
Wednesday before Longview. But I got to figure out next week. Somebody that's in Oklahoma that's a sponsor. So I'll figure it out.
Okay. So, yeah, we can work on that. We can get Alan and Denise maybe.
Duh. Boobies. Boobies, you in?
Yeah.
Yep. Boobies.
We'll work on that for you guys. We'll get everything posted. We'll get some info stuff up. We'll get some events posted. Make sure you're checking us out. Hit herpshow.net. Go to, and most people follow me on this thing, but go to HERPCast. We have like 50 followers. Go like and subscribe and all that stuff on our YouTube channel. We're going to try to build that up. We are very, very happy that it's a new year. We're going to actually promote the crap out of all of the sponsors coming up, and then we'll start talking to other vendors as well.
After I got 5 more days to get all this stuff out of my store, and I am 100% fully dedicated to Herps again. Well, besides, myself, but I'm going to be harassing everyone again.
Yeah,
all the time.
The time. You're going to get harassed.
You don't message me back in a day, then I message you again, and I keep on it. So,
or she makes me call you.
I don't know. I don't call much, but
no, you said you make me call them.
Oh yeah, I'll make you call.
Yeah,
I don't like to talk on the phone very much. So, yeah. Anyway, but if anybody does want to register, our 2024 shows are all sold out, but that's going to change, and it has been changing as people drop shows and change or get out of it. I still have tons so don't let that deter you. 2025, I will have all of our printed show dates at every show between now and Rosenberg, and you can fill them out, and then after Rosenberg we'll put them online for anybody that's not at any of those shows that can start registering. So hopefully we can sell all those out too.
Yeah,
and hopefully I'll have a new announcement soon.
Oh, God,
love you
too.
Don't worry, it's not a new show.
Well,
and I'm not pregnant. I'm too old.
No, thank you guys again for all the support. Love you guys. We're gonna kick 2024's ass. We say that every year, but we're gonna do it. We need to.
Well, 2023 kicked mine, so I got to kick something.
Yeah, we got to kick something.
Yeah.
So
love you guys.
Love you guys.